Good morning. Today's topic is the age of the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment was just that, a period in which ideas were flourishing, progress was ever present, and Europe, France specifically, but then eventually the rest of the world would move further within their thinking and how governments are going to change. The age of the Enlightenment was inspired by the scientific revolution. Remember, in the Dark Ages in Europe, the old way of thinking, you could offer up ideas without any proof and they could take hold as the way. As we look back before the scientific revolution with geocentrism versus heliocentrism, for hundreds of years, geocentrism was the belief because one astronomer stated it to be true. Heliocentrism became the actual truth, as it always was, when there was proof. That's the key to all this, the idea of proof. And math, was what allowed the scientists to have that proof. Using the scientific method of stating that hypothesis in your procedure for your test, your experiment, but using mathematical calculations to provide proof to your thinking. Only the math would provide it to be true. From there, this style of thinking becomes the predominant way throughout Europe and beyond, known as rational thinking or rationalism. And that is logical thinking, step-by-step deduction. This is what inspires the Age of Enlightenment. With the scientific revolution, they were trying to explain natural phenomena, the stars, the sun, gravity itself, what goes up must come down, Sir Isaac Newton. Where the Enlightenment takes hold is it is going to expand and push to try to explain human behavior, human nature. Why do humans behave the way they do? Why do they believe what they do? So as they attack this, in France specifically where they started, what indirectly comes about is also, why do we believe in religion? Why Christianity? Why are humans spiritual? Why do we have the form of government that we do? Why do we enslave others? All sorts of common practices and institutions were brought up. They were also criticized heavily. With the criticism, the goal was to provide answers. Answers to why do you believe what you do? What is the best practice? To push forward and provide the best society ever. Part of this Age of Enlightenment, to not only explain human behavior, but there was this constant belief, especially out of France, that this was a time of progress. And the theory of progress comes about. The idea that society and humans will continue to evolve and advance year after year after year. So this was what was spurring it on. What this leads to is their goal was to end all sorts of injustices in society and to have more people have a say in their governments, democracies, going back to Greece and Rome. These ideas are going to spread. They start in France, they spread beyond. Where we see them first take light was within the United States, put these into practice, and the American Revolution. The French Revolution and the Haitian Revolution and revolutions throughout the 1800s are going to take place as a result of the Enlightenment. Revolution today in the Middle East, something known as the Arab Spring, are also inspired by the ideas that come from this Age of the Enlightenment. Your focus, your task, your job is to go to back to the folder on the Enlightenment and read through the Age of the Enlightenment reading. There's a chart. You need to complete the chart and the guided questions about each philosopher. If they were French, they called them philosophes. You need to identify their basic beliefs, what they published. That's step one in this process. After you identify what they believed through the text, you are then going to come back to the second video that I'm going to post that'll take you through more of the details of the Enlightenment. and then identify their beliefs through primary sources.